Welcome back to Pandora Hearts Anime Review Part 6. This time I'm reviewing the final arc of the anime, a filler arc known as the Chain Invasion arc. Yes, the whole thing with the invasion thing starts at the end of the first part and is wrapped up at the end of the next episode. It does start off pretty nicely with Oz, Oz and Alice defeating his Chain, looking for more of Alice's memories. Doesn't find anything. They go back to Sharon's mansion, and what do they find there? Apparently, Alda, Oz's beautiful sister, shows up. He's like, "Why are you here? School's on holiday." Okay. Yep. And of course, apparently he's got army bodyguards because something Jack said a couple arcs back. Yep. Because why not? Yeah. And apparently these bodyguards are quite annoying, following him everywhere. Yeah, and of course Lem had to calm down. It's like, yeah, this is Master Oz's sister. Don't worry, this is Mistress Alva. Yeah, of course he greets her, and of course they go off, and of course Alice is a bit jealous, like, why is she like? And of course he does mushy stuff, and of course, well, Gilbert is like, yeah, they're brother sisters, just get over it. And then of course we see Evan one more time in the episode, just sitting at a table with Sharon, and that's the last I see of her. After this one scene, she's never seen again for the rest of the series. Yeah, so they bring this character back for the first time in, it's been 4 episodes since her last appearance, and they completely waste her. And talk about various things, so they go back to, like, pretty much what the series started off with, basically, back to the mansion from the start of the series, even though they had already visited the place again back at the start of Pandora, basically during Pandora investigations. As for why they wanted to go back here, it's just like, okay, why would you go back to a place you've already been before in the anime? It makes no sense. At least this time, the only difference is this time, Break and Sharon are there. Yeah, for them, it's the first time since episode 3 they've been there. Excuse me, so they go down to the tomb again, and they can't figure out exactly who is on this particular tomb. And then they walk up to the surface, and they hear some, like, rumbling. And then 3 chains show up without contractors, which is, I'm like, yeah, this is a bit bizarre. And then, like, the episode ends basically with her feeling something more shocking than that. She goes up the steps and she sees something really shocking. And Gilbert sees it too. What does he see? A city being attacked by chains. And then by the very next episode, they have the whole battle take place in this particular thing. Like, oh, we have a bunch of chains basically invading this one town. And pretty much a lot of them are taken out by, well, first basically Oz releases. Also before they leave, before they go to this mansion, Oz is given the gun belonging to the guy from Pandora Investigation. Another connection is a damn thing. Yeah, even, like, I'm like, why the heck would we even get that for? Yeah, we even explained by Lim, basically, this is pretty much illegal. I mean, that's evidence. Why the heck we give evidence for? Yeah, and according to Breaks, like, oh, I let it slide because of a long-time friendship. Yeah, I don't know how long these two have known each other. And it's a pretty well done episode with this big battle. Oz basically shoots some of the chains. We have everybody get chances to their basically a big hero moment. And then the episode ends with, well, a chain we've never seen before show up. It looks like a freaking dragon. And it's destroyed by Oz's power, which apparently turns into stone and then it dissolves. And they imply that, oh, maybe the will of the Abyss is sad. We see a memory last time playing. I don't know if this memory is from the actual story itself. And here's a slight problem. Now, before I get to the last episode, they never figure out what the. Of course, the baskets show up here. It's like, okay, you have Lottie show up for a brief cameo. Sends her lion off to kill a chain. Sends Oscar to Oz basically deal with this. Yeah. And then, like, the very next episode, we go back to the mansion. Oz's home. It's a nice episode. I like it except for the damn ending. I thought the ending was terrible. So like, okay, go home, see good memories. You see Alice needs a mate like she usually does, and of course Kate apparently is a little bit nicer than she was 10 years prior, and she looked like she aged very much. Yeah, unlike some characters who look pretty much the same after 10 years. She aged a little bit, not very much, and of course, well, as for her being chosen to Alice, there's barely anything there. Heck, Kate doesn't do anything to say anything to Gilbert, because, like Oz, she hasn't seen Gilbert in 10 years. There's like no reactions to that. There's a speech later on about being whatever, the combat stuff from a few episodes back. It's like, what was that, a lie? Who knows? And then all of a sudden he decides, okay, I want to go see my father, who was at Baskervilles for some reason. And of course, well, we also have it where apparently he's the Duke, one of the four Dukes, and apparently he has a chain. And it's revealed that his chain is responsible for sending Oz the Abyss. Why? Never explained. And of course, they look for the Baskervilles for some reason, and they basically go to the town with the tragedy they keep mentioning the whole series. Oh yeah, and the place is in frickin' ruin. We see Lottie appear again. Doesn't do anything. And then apparently the chain shows up, the Griffin, which is basically this raven blind bird creature. Oh yeah, and Oz basically summons power B Rabbit without having Gilbert just touch his forehead to turn off the power just top of his head. Yep. Summons power, beats in one thing, says some stuff to his father, who doesn't say anything. Tower disappears that he's standing on. They go back in the carriage. So, oh yeah, we solve all the mysteries, and it's implied they end the episode look like that Oz and Alice can make out again. Okay. So yeah, this is not a very good arc. Yeah, this arc felt very rushed, and for when I looked up online why this arc had to happen, it turns out because apparently they had no other material to go off of. So, end the series with an awful filler. Yes, this is just as bad as the ending of Soul Eater. At least the main villain. Oh yeah, this is almost exactly the same way that Soul Eater ended. Yeah, how about the main villain have a villain defeated by one punch, one hit, done. That's it. Hate Chains defeated, not destroyed, just defeated. What happens to Oz's father? He just disappears. Never to be seen again. As for why the heck he's in Baskervilles, never explained. He's there. Don't see a man's face. Oh yeah, this is only his second appearance ever in the series, aside of a brief flashback. At least that one made more sense. That's actually canon from the manga. And I should point out though, when they had this scene when they go visit Vincent at the Nightmare Mansion. Now there's one moment in there where you have Gilbert entering Vincent's room, not his bedroom per se, but a room he's in. This actually is from the manga. One page of it. Yes, just the opening page of chapter 33. But everything after that first page, it's all anime original. Yeah, so when you finish watching this arc, like you ask like a bunch of questions, like, one, how the heck did chains even get here? Two, who unleashed them? I mean, clearly it's not the Baskervilles, and apparently the will is implied behind this. Like, how? Yeah, this is never explained. Yeah, and also Oz basically trying to justify his own existence and implying that he lied in the previous arc, which basically is kind of bullcrap. It's almost like saying this arc is completely pointless. Yes, it is. It is completely pointless. That if the series ever came back, they're definitely going to ignore this because this is just so bad. It's like, okay, we have Beta Chains, stories resolved by the end of the next episode, and this is supposed to be a 3-part story arc, and yet it's wrapped up by episode 2. Like the whole invasion thing starts at the end of episode 1, and then like it takes up the entirety of episode 2, and it's wrapped up. As for what Oz's power was that he controlled the abyss now, okay, that's never explained. It's like, yeah, the people who basically did this arc's like, yeah, apparently they didn't understand how the arc or the series went. They could just, I don't know, put the series on hiatus until we got more chapters come out. No, we have to do this stupid filler. You would be a much better filler than this. How about actually exploring what the heck Gilbert was up to during the 10-year time skip? That would have been nice. I think, like, I would also like to see something with Alvida. Like, Alvida, Oz's smoking hot sister. I'd like to see more stuff with her. I wouldn't mind some fillers to focus on her. You don't have, I mean, yeah, you can put the series in hiatus, basically just tell, like, tales of Gilbert. Like, what the heck he was up to from basically the moment his brother up until he reunited with Oz. Kind of same with Alva. Just tell basically the whole series from her perspective, even though it's kind of, even my plot is my filler, it's just basically a bunch of school stuff. Yep. Could have done that. I mean, that's one bright idea I would have. But nope, we had to deal with this stupid arc. An arc that's completely pointless. It's a terrible story. Yes. Yeah, the animators pretty much waste their time. It's like they just didn't care. Yeah, let's do a story arc that makes no sense at all and it uses stuff that is completely contradicts the manga. I mean, I would say the first episode is probably the best one of this arc, but at least it was interesting up until they had the whole chain invasion stuff. Though I do disagree with going back to the mansion where Oz had his coming of age ceremony because they already went back there way back in episode 6. Why revisiting it now? It just the only change is that they bring Break and Sharon there. Yeah. By the way, what's the whole purpose of these two in this arc? Absolutely nothing. They get pretty much almost nothing to do. We have Break unleashing the Mad Hatter, destroys a lot of these people, so a lot of these chains. We have Pandora being invaded by chains. Yeah, that plot for is like, okay, we have a chain invading Pandora headquarters. We see a battle Pandora headquarters? Nope. Come back to the city. Yep, it's like people who made this basically where it's a completely different team than worked on the actual thing because the story is all over the place. Yeah. But hopefully that the specials basically will cover from this awful story arc. Like, oh my gosh, this is so bad. Yes. At least some of the filler stuff in Soul Eater basically was fine. I didn't have a problem with it. A lot of other series that have filler, I had no problem with this. But to end the series this way is so stupid. You introduce stuff that is not in the manga. Though I think there's a character who appears in this story who actually does appear in the manga, basically is a loosely based on one of the characters appearing here. I think it's probably that creature. Possibly, I have no idea. But yeah, nothing much else to say about this arc. Side back, it's bad. Really bad. There's only two good things about this story arc. The animation and the performances by the voice actors. That is it. That's the only good things about this entire story. The writing is atrociously bad. Yeah. So yeah, not much else to say about this particular arc. Yep. But next one, I will discuss my final thoughts on the anime itself. But starting with part 8, I will be discussing the manga, starting with the arc that picked up right where the previous arc left off. I will discuss that tomorrow, along with a bunch of other stuff, along with One Piece, which just reading the episode, anybody know into the manga, Dragon Ball Super, me, and Boruto, and probably a Case Close film. Okay, but see you next review. Bye.